Bungarribee house at night time. It's the floor plan of the Bungarribee house. Let's see if we can make contact. The residents of the house. And get some photos as well. See if anyone shows up in the photos too. This is a follow-on from our clip about Bungarribee House during the daytime. You can hear some bats in the tree over there. And bats in the sky. Do a perimeter walk. Got the perilous one to see if anyone wants to make contact. Besides the bats. It's just signs.
Zoo. Fear.
It could have been fear.
Mass. John Campbell. Inno.
Do you come in here? Do you reside here still? 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 Do you Annabelle Campbell? Do you still walk around
Adjective.
in these grounds? On the outside.
Belong.
You still belong to these grounds. What about the other people that lived here? John Kingdom Cleve?
Easy.
Does anyone want to make contact about what it was like living here?
Rates.
Nice little seat area here on the outside of the house. Remains.
Afterlife.
Would anyone from the afterlife like to talk about Bungarribee House? The history here?
Dead.
Governor King, Mayor John Campbell, his wife Annabella, who died. And their 13 children were here too. And the animals, there were animals on the property. What about Benjamin Boyd? Living here between 1846 and 1851. John Cleve?
Marco.
cool place. We'll have to go and check that barn out too. Walter's family. Would the Walters family...
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Would the Walters family like to talk to us about the time that they lived here? Between 1900 and 1916. Charles Hopkins. Thomas Cleaver. It's an interesting place here.
Hold.
What about the history here? And how do you feel about the fact that the grass is overgrown? Does it upset you? Or do you enjoy that nature now fills the inside of where your home used to be? Nature's creeping in and taking over.
Grew.
Growth. If that's what was said, there's quite a lot of growth here. Needs a good mow or a whippersnip. Might try Ghost Radio app and see what we get. Here at Bungarribee House. We'll listen to the Ghost Radio and see what we can come up with. Just going to walk over to the tower. See if we can pick up anybody who lived here. It's a bit dark to see the flooring. John Campbell or Annabella Campbell, John Cleave, Benjamin Boyd. Would anyone like to make contact with us here? Tell us a bit about what happened on these grounds. What about the young soldier who took his own life after he was turned down by a female that he had affection towards? What about Annabella and John's children who lived here? Is anyone interested in communicating about the history here? At the garden. Just walking down to the garden area. Some people died on the grounds. Some animals may have died on the grounds. Would any animals like to make contact? Oh, we've got someone who wants to chat. Technology hasn't quite calibrated yet, so we don't get the words spat out. Did sound like technology. Use the technology to get a message across to us. What would you like us to know about this area? Did you live here? Extent? Did you live here? I'm walking around the perimeter of the Bungarribee house. Would you like us to know anything about this land? About the house? The barn? There's a barn down there, which we'll go and have a look at. Agree? Remove. And they removed a tree that was here. And they removed the house. And we're left with the grounds, the floor plan. Ecosystem, yeah. It's filled with nature. These trees would have been here when the occupants of Bungarribee House resided here. I'm walking down to the largest tree. Can you tell me anything about this tree? See the base of the tree. Don't know how much you can see of its branches. There's another tree there. They've planted a few other trees up here. Oh, we've lost them. Here in the barn area, just see the outline of the barn. Got a nice park here. This must be where it ends and comes up here. See the outline in the
Stopped.
So yes, I've stopped. Do you want me to keep going? I'll walk up to the end. The concrete here. Can you tell me anything about this barn? And the rest of the grounds here. The barn comes back down here. The barn was here for a while. Is there anything you'd like to tell us about the barn?
What about Thomas Isley or John Campbell? This was your homestead on this site. Is anyone present that knows those two gentlemen, or are one of you here and able to come forward and speak with me, say something, give us an indication that you know that you have an awareness of what I'm doing here and what I'm trying to communicate with you. What about a year? Can you give me a year that you were here? A lot happened in this land. Obviously back to the indigenous original custodians of this land, and then obviously the settlers. Does anybody have anything they'd like to communicate in regards to that? The device here on this ledge is only made as a conduit to communicate. Don't be afraid of it. Welcome to manipulate it if you can. And you will be respected at all times. Can somebody give me a year, or can somebody tell me if there's something else present here? What about anyone else? Is there good or is there evil in this place? Are you stuck in this place? Can you say my name or hello? Is there a message you'd like to share with us about this whole area? people lived and died here, and if you're able to come through, please do use this device, use the electronic power out of it, make yourself known. So we're here at the floor plan area of the former Bungarribee Homestead. It's been gone now for 64 years. That's when the last of the house was demolished. Well, there was a barn left until the year, I believe, 77. But the homestead itself was completely demolished when the OTC, former telecom company, bought the land. It's a shame. I feel sorry for that. It should have been preserved. It should have been respected. And at this site, which we've shown, there is an adequate tribute, I guess you could call it, to the site, in the way of what I believe to be a fairly accurate placement of stone blocks, bricks, to show the floor plan that was once. It is not ideal, but it is a tribute all the same. Did you live or did you frequent this house in the 19th century, particularly the early part of the 1800s? If you did come through, speak to me now. This is your opportunity to be known, have your voice known. I will have to review this footage later to decipher if there was any messages from you, which is understandable. We have to do that as a means to look, it has to be scrutinized in a sense. With headphones on, I suggest that people do wear headphones to do this, to listen and watch this video. The experience you'll have is a completely different one than if you didn't. I hope that I've been able to communicate. I can't hear much right now, but I'm sure something has come through. I thank you for the opportunity to communicate. We will return.
Leaving Bungarribee House and the grounds. Anyone like to communicate before we leave? Any last words? Anything that you'd like to tell us about the history, about the people who lived here? Just nearing the house for the last time, or the grounds of the house. Would anyone like to tell us? Anyone who lived here or worked here? Anyone who died here? What was it like living here? Someone who had time here? Someone who spent time inside the house? Maybe a visitor to the house? Someone who danced in one of the ballrooms? Anyone like to say anything about the history of Bungarribee House?
Aussie made.